Welcome to Do You Wanna Dance with Sophia in Sapphire. Learn how simple it is to go from wallflower dreamer to confident center of the stage dancer. Whether it's the first dance as husband and wife or another option for date night, we'll help you go from nerdy to flirty, jump-starting your dancing journey and transforming your experience into a personal expression of what makes you, you. And now, your host for Do You Wanna Dance, Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live on VegasAllNetRadio.com. This whole show is about inspiring you, helping you get out and jumpstart your dancing journey, and to make the most out of planning for your special wedding day. We have tips and tricks to get nerdy to flirty. We're going to help you get nerdy to flirty for your special wedding day and as a beginner dancer on the dance floor. We have insights on smart planning and all the right tips and tricks. So if you want to get more information about dancing for your wedding or ballroom dance lessons, always welcome to visit www.sophiainsapphire.com. If you want to be personally invited to Sophia and Sapphire classes, events, meetups, please like Sophia and Sapphire on Facebook and tweet about us with the hashtag DanceWithSophia. We're still holding raffle this month for all new Facebook likes. Be sure to join in for a chance to win a free lesson with yours truly. And we actually have a very special announcement. We are now on iTunes. We submitted our radio show as a podcast, and it's been approved. So if you like the show, check us out. Please rate us and subscribe and spread the word. If you do miss an episode, you're welcome to download it because we do have archives on VegasAllNetRadio.com and also now on iTunes. So, co-host today, Magic Al Jensen. Welcome to the studio.
Hi there, Sophia. It is so great to spend a Wednesday afternoon with the Do You Wanna Dance cast and crew right here at the Vegas All Net Radio Studios. I love it. It's the highlight of my week.
Oh, yeah? Because you're hoping to get from nerdy to flirty.
Well, I have had a desire to go from nerdy to flirty for a long time, and I've thus far have not had much success.
Oh.
But I'm thinking if I can nail the salsa, that's going to be a major step in the right direction.
I think so.
If I can nail the salsa.
The salsa.
And then, because I just like to say salsa. And then also, I'm thinking maybe the cha-cha might be, I like to say cha-cha as well.
Those are your two favorite dance words.
Salsa and cha-cha. If I can do those two, I could really take a major step in the flirty direction.
Well, the good news is we're still having salsa classes this month at the Ritz.
Right, your Monday night meetup group.
Monday night meetup at 6 p.m. For beginners. Last dance class for salsa is this upcoming Monday. And then lucky you are because cha-cha is going to be our dance for May.
Next month, the cha-cha.
Yes. So last week, we had an interesting guest. We talked about what it is to be a gentleman. And I'm sure you probably got, a notch up with points and getting into the flirty zone after hearing that episode.
I learned a lot from John. I mean, this guy is an expert when it comes to the art of being a gentleman. And
yeah.
I've kind of known him a little bit for a while, but last week we had him on for the entire show. We could have done a 2-hour show last week because he had such great information on what it means to be a gentleman, how to act in social situations, how not to be a jerk, and how not to be a nice guy, because it's not really a nice guy that you want to be, yet you want to be a gentleman, and there's a difference. He shared some of those differences with us, and I hope we'll be able to have him back on the show at some point and expound upon those things.
I hope so, too. And just keep in mind, if you did miss that show, it was a good one. Check us out on iTunes, our podcast, Do You Want to Dance Show, or find us on Vegas All Net Radio.
That's right, because on VegasAllNetRadio.com, they are archived, so you can
They're
go back
all archived
and listen to past shows. So there's a plethora of opportunities to catch past editions of Do You Want to Dance?
Mm-hmm. So, Al, I kind of wanted to share with you and also Radio Land out there that we did join the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce the other month. And I actually went to their mixer last night, and it was pretty cool turnout. You know, there was an awesome healthy food served by the Bronze Cafe, smoothies, etc. There were free massages. There was a raffle. And the director of membership, Mindy Taddy, she is the director at the chamber, handed me a prize because I actually won one of the prizes.
Really? What did you win?
Well, it was nothing special. It was just a hat.
But
well,
still.
What was cool is
I never win anything.
As I was coming up for the prize, she gave me a shout out and announced to everyone that last week she had a party and she, had some friends, and somebody had to leave early because they were rushing to my dance class, and they skipped happy hour to make sure they made it to my dance class.
Well, that sounds like a very wise individual. They have their priorities in order.
But you know what's even cooler is that this special person is our special guest today, and I didn't even know about this.
You didn't even realize that?
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
That is awesome.
So, and our special guest is going to be talking about some tips on making wise planning choices for weddings, keeping things simple and giving us some cool ideas. So make sure you stick around. We'll bring her on to the show in just a bit.
Right.
But that's going to be really interesting to hear about.
All right. I want to know a little bit more about this Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce, because that sounds like something that I might need to know a little bit more about, because my fitness level is not what you would say or not what you would characterize as ideal.
Right. So it's really cool because it's a group of locals from Las Vegas, business owners who focus in health and fitness, anywhere from gyms to healthcare centers to massage therapists to dentists to dance instructors like me.
Right.
And it's cool because everyone's welcome to come to the mixer, and you get to meet all these people who are kind of passionate about health and meet people of like minds and be in the know about upcoming events that have to do with, health and
Sure.
fitness.
Now, let's take it back to last week again when we had John on, our gentleman specialist. He mentioned the health benefits that he has received as a result of coming to your Monday night meetup groups. It's not that he is out of shape by any means, but he had mentioned that by coming to your meetup groups and taking lessons, he felt that has helped him stay moving. And that's one of the objectives that he has established for himself, is to move more, is to sit less and move more. And by coming to your Monday night meetup, where he's been learning the salsa, he has been moving a lot more. And he mentioned that was really a cool thing. Yeah,
well, one thing that I think sets apart dancing from all other physical activities is that you do have fun, and you kind of don't notice how time flies when you're out there.
Exactly. You don't know that, you don't realize how much you're moving or how fast time goes.
So the calories burn faster
when you're out there moving your body around.
Yeah, and so dance class is definitely, the Monday meetup is a great way for exercise, but I also want to announce that we're having our monthly meetup at the Gold Coast on May 3rd, and we will be taking out our salsa crew, everyone that's been joining us for the month of April, to go out and salsa dance at the club. Now this...
And that was the Gold Coast, you say?
Gold Coast.
All right.
If you're tuckered out in class, you're going to love getting tuckered out at the club because it just does not stop. So Gold Coast on May 3rd, everyone's invited. We're probably going to meet up around 9 p.m., so keep that in mind.
And do we have like a live band that's going to be playing?
I have to check the schedule. There's usually a live salsa band at these places.
Wow, a live salsa band.
I think you have to come, Al, because you keep talking about it, but I don't see you.
I have some major commitments on Monday nights with the National Speakers Association, Speakers Academy, and all sorts of things like that. But that's coming to an end here in May. So my Monday nights will be freed up in the middle of May, so I can come out and do that. Very
cool. So talked a little bit about our guest, keeping things simple. And before we actually introduce her, I want to talk a little bit about how how to bring simplicity out of dance, because dance is overwhelming. Dance is, crazy.
Well, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
Well, but I know, but most people don't understand that. And they right away just get discombobulated just because of so much is going on. They're using all of their senses, and it's really hard to kind of like breathe and just relax.
Well, let me tell you, we had been talking about coming up next month, you're going to be teaching the cha-cha.
That's right, yeah.
And I had this perception in my mind. I mean, I like to say cha-cha, but I have no idea what the cha-cha is. And I have, perceptions in my mind, and I thought the pace was really quick and some really serious and complicated moves. But earlier, as we were cutting a spot for the next month's event, we listened to a few different cha-cha pieces or pieces of music that you would teach the cha-cha to. And it's a lot more simplistic than I had imagined.
Yeah, that's true, but we also have to keep in mind, why was that song sounding kind of slow? Well, because we move our feet so many times. We change our weight in cha-cha so many times, more than any other.
So it's like a syncopated rhythm.
It's a syncopated rhythm, and in order to get all those steps, I mean, even if you think this cha-cha sounds slow, you're going to tucker yourself out trying to dance to it just because there's so much to do in that small amount of time.
I tucker myself out going from the sofa to the refrigerator.
Oh, no.
But no, I think I would like the cha-cha. I mean, we've talked about it. I've seen some video of it, and I got to tell you, I think I could do it.
Oh,
I spent a lot of time in school in music, and although I wasn't a percussionist, I understand syncopated rhythms and things of that nature. And that's what sounds like fun to me, is not just 1, 2, 3, 4, but the syncopated rhythms and movements. I mean, that sounds exciting to me.
Yeah. So going back to keeping it simple, if you do want to go out there and dance, the first thing is just coming out to a very simple beginner class. That's the first step. Make some new friends that are also, taking some
in the
those
same
classes.
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to kind of assimilate into this. Also, going out into the real world and watching people is just as educational.
I'm good at that. I like to people watch.
So we've got group classes, which are important. You learn the steps. You've got field trips, which are parties where you actually do the steps.
To apply them.
The other one I want to mention and kind of underline is private lessons. And sometimes you're like in that in-between hump where you're like maybe not getting everything or at a plateau or getting frustrated. Everyone needs a different approach, so sometimes it's worth it kind of to take a step back and get individual attention and get those questions evened out and take the next step with your dancing journey.
Earlier we had listened to a recording that we got from a young lady named Roxanne, who did a very nice testimonial call-in for us, telling us about her and her husband who had wanted to have the perfect first dance at their wedding. They contacted you, and she was so excited about how, number one, you made it simple. Number two, it was in a neighborhood, an area that wasn't far from their house. I think they took, was a total of 10 lessons from you, and they were just ecstatic that they had the opportunity to get the one-on-one attention. And when their wedding actually came off, they were so confident and just really enjoyed the evening. And that was a great call, a great testimonial from Roxanne.
Well, I think we're going to hear that later on today.
That would be great. I would like to do that. But I just wanted you to know that I thought that was so cool that Roxanne took time out of her day to call in and share her experience of your personal private lessons with us.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for sharing, Al.
Oh, absolutely. I just love to hear when other people have had a great experience. I mean, we can talk about it all day long, but it's when the people who actually experience it, when you see the smile on their face, the smile on their voice, that's when it's really got to be satisfying, because you know that what you're doing is making a difference.
Totally, yeah. All right, well, we have to go off into our commercial break. Stay tuned, because our guest, very special guest, will be on right after this short commercial break.
Everyone in the studio is taking a quick dance break. We'll be back after these brief commercial announcements.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me. calling because my husband surprised me with dance lessons at Sophia in Sapphire, and we had a marvelous time. I never in a million years thought that I would be able to salsa. I can't believe that Jim was in for it, and we both had so much fun. Since then, we have been going out on dates just so we can salsa, and it's really changed our world. So thanks again, Sophia. We had a lot of fun. You're a very patient teacher, and I can't wait to take the next lesson.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me at 6 p.m. each Monday night in April to learn the salsa at the Ritz, located at 3360 East Flamingo Road, for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. For more information, please visit sophiainsapphire.com.
Hi, Sophia. It's Roxanne. I just wanted to let you know my husband and I wanted to do a first dance at our wedding, and we found Sophia and Sapphire online. We had a total of 10 lessons in 3 months and put together a routine that was easy for us to learn, tailored to our first song, and that made us look good at our wedding. Our wedding dance specialist from Sophia and Sapphire was amazing, patient, and taught us the dance moves progressively, and in a way that someone with no dance experience, like us, could still learn it and make it look great. Scheduling was flexible, and we were able to conveniently meet at a studio located closest to us. Thanks, Sophia.
Are you looking for an all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue? One with all the services to plan your perfect wedding. If so, you're looking for the Ritz of Las Vegas, family-owned and operated for more than 10 years. In addition to traditional events, the Ritz specializes in theme weddings from 1920s, glam goth, Star Wars, Harry Potter, masquerade, burlesque, or vintage Hollywood, just to name a few. Whatever your vision, the Ritz makes it a reality. For more information on the finest all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue in Las Vegas, contact the Ritz of Las Vegas at 702-336-3626 or visit them at theritzoflasvegas.com. That's 702-336-3626 or theritzoflasvegas.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Sophia, your hostess today. Co-hosting with us is Magic Al Jensen over there.
Hi, Sophia.
Hello. And then we have come to the time in the show to introduce our special guest today. Her name is Jil Borchers, and she is the owner of Celebrity Photobooth. And what's interesting is that she has the power to make you feel like a star at a special event, kind of like I do on the dance floor. I help people feel like stars, but she actually has the power to encapsulate that memory into a photograph.
That's right, because let's face it, you can't be on the dance floor for 2 hours straight. You got to take a break from time to time
and take pictures.
You got to hit the bar. You got to get something to drink. You got to hit the restroom. You got to sit down and stretch, and relax a little bit. And why not go get your photograph taken with your significant other, with your friends, with some props, and create a memory not only for yourself, but for the wedding party, for the wedding couple, so they're going to know in a fun way, who was there and who was having a great time at their wedding.
That's right.
So let's welcome Jil Borchers.
Hi, Sophia. Hi, Al. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's great
Thank
to
you
have
so
you here
much
today.
for coming.
I mean, we can talk all about it, but in our pre-show production meeting, we talked a little bit about some of the things that you do, but you really do want to make certain that, and we're talking weddings here, because I know you do all sorts of events, and we'll talk about some of those other events in a little bit. But at the wedding event itself, you really want to make certain that everybody has a great time, and that is captured on film for the ages. Is that right?
Oh, most definitely. And just for the bride and groom as well. They want to make sure that their guests are having just as much fun as they are celebrating their wedding. So this gives the guests an opportunity to just have that extra, really like a party favor that they can take home and just remember that special day for that couple all the time.
That's really, I love that idea, party favor. And everyone keeps something if there's a picture of themselves on it.
Most definitely. It goes on their refrigerators, they take it to their office desk, they hold on to it forever.
So tell us a little bit about your photo booth.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we actually have 2 booths now, so we are growing and expanding.
Excellent.
Yes, our booth, one of the fun features, it can expand, so we can fit up to 20 people in the booth, or just keep it small and intimate for smaller parties,
Sure.
so you can have that experience. We use all professional equipment, so there's no home-based equipment. We use a professional Canon camera, and we don't have any hidden charges. So when you call me for a quote, I make sure that I give you exactly what you're going to be paying for, and that includes all the props, unlimited prints when you're at the event, so guests can go. Yes, they can go in as many times as they want.
Awesome.
And then we bring the props with as well, so then that way people can put on silly hats and boas. It actually makes the event.
Awesome.
So we're not going to have to like pay extra for like setup or
not
like
at all.
travel or anything like that.
No, and we also provide 2 technicians throughout the event that stay with the booth.
So somebody's there in case.
Of course, in case something can happen. I mean, it is technology, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You have to make sure people are there that know how to use it and make sure that it works for the entire event.
Sure.
And we also have some fun add-ons. Like Sophia said, we love to make you feel like a star. So we have some add-ons that you can bring we can bring our red carpet and ropes out, so all of your guests can walk down the red carpet and feel special.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we also have a green screen, so if there's any particular backgrounds that you as the host, or if you're getting married, that's what you want in the background, we can do that as well.
So if we want the guests to be like they're on a beach or something like that with palm trees and ocean.
Yes, we can do all
nice.
sorts of different things.
Awesome.
Yeah, under trees or in the forest or whatever you can think of.
Yeah, make your dream a reality, right?
Exactly, yeah. Definitely. One of our popular backgrounds is Hawaii, of course.
Oh,
Everyone
I
loves
bet,
Hawaii. Yeah.
So do you have people from out of town that call you up, or is it mostly locals?
Oh, no, it's a big mix. We get a lot of people from out of town because this is a wonderful destination place to be married. In fact, there's over 90,000 weddings here in Las Vegas.
Wait, how many?
Year. Over 90,000 weddings.
90,000 weddings in Las Vegas every year?
Yes, every year. It is a huge wedding
How
capital.
can you handle that many? I mean, that keeps you busy, doesn't it?
Oh, very much so, yeah. I think we can only handle about 80,000 of the 90.
Oh, wow.
And if you've got like 50,000, you'd still do okay,
We'd
right?
still do okay,
All
yes,
right.
definitely.
So you probably have a lot of people calling in from all over the place, and a lot of frantic brides too.
Oh, very
You've
much
probably seen a lot and help people even plan for their weddings.
That's something that I really wanted to have with my business, is an opportunity to guide people in planning their events. And I kind of use a simple method. So aside of even making sure that they want to use us as a photo booth, I want to be there to guide them in any way possible to make their wedding just spectacular. That's my main goal. And so some of the methods that I use is, just like you were saying, is keeping it simple. It's the KISS method.
Yeah, the KISS. Yeah, well, you mentioned that to me, and I just thought that was great because that's so important, you know, and especially now actually with the trend of people doing yoga and meditation and things like that, we kind of need to calm down sometimes.
Yes.
And even especially during the stress of planning for your wedding or even learning to dance. So I really look forward to hearing about your personal approach. What do you recommend? What is your thoughts?
First things first, the main reason for getting married and the only thing that a bride needs to be concerned about is that she is there as a bride, her fiance, the groom is there, and there's an officiant. That is the bottom line of any wedding. So the first thing...
That's the price of admission,
isn't it?
Of admission. You don't have that, you don't have a wedding.
Not at all.
Oh, that's true.
And I think sometimes people planning their wedding, they get so frantic because there's so many details. They forget what's actually important, and that is the most important. Aside from anybody being there, as long as it's the bride and the groom and the officiant, you're good to go. But if you are having a bigger wedding with people, you know, first off, I always encourage people, take your guest list and make sure that you're really inviting the people that are close to you, your close family members. You know, an ideal wedding truly is probably no more than, I'd say 75 people, because if you think about it, how many people are you really that close to?
3.
Three?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm close to 3 people.
Well,
and they're all in this room right
they're
now.
all in this room.
Oh,
I feel honored. Well, the thing about it is it really will help with your budget. And I know everybody's tight because there's so many things to worry about when you are getting married. So that will definitely cut costs, is bringing down how many guests that you are inviting and how many show up. The second thing to really look at is your dress. Now, I know there's so many couture gowns and they're gorgeous. And, of course, all brides get their bridal magazine. They cost a lot of money. And what you could do is find alternative ways to find a gown that's not as expensive.
Those are good ideas. What would you say... you know, the first thing that comes to my mind when you say cutting the guest list is that, you know, if you're not invited to the wedding and you feel like you're a friend and that you should have been invited, that is a feeling or a grudge that might stay with you for many years if you're one of those guests that was not invited?
Well, obviously, at every wedding, you have some guests that are always invited that was probably not quite your choice.
Yes.
The best thing to do is to minimize how many of those people you invite.
Like in-laws. Can we cut out the in-laws? I mean, is that a possibility? Or
unfortunately,
is there a
no.
rule against that?
No, when it comes to family, you can't choose your family. You can choose your friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, let me ask you this. A lot of people who choose Las Vegas as a destination for their wedding are doing it, on a budget.
Right.
And sometimes they're planning it themselves. Sometimes they engage the services of a wedding or an event planner.
Correct.
Do you work with both of those scenarios?
I'm really glad you asked that question, because that's one thing I really strive to do is make sure I'm working with all different types of vendors. So when people come to inquire about the booth, not only where I can tell them about what we do as our service, but I can let them know, hi, I have photographers, I have venues, I have Sophia, Sophia and Sapphire to help you with the dance instructor.
Officiants,
exactly.
all that kind of stuff.
Any type of vendor that they might need party rentals and whatnot, as well as other direct coordinators, of course I always offer that so that they can have a list of people that I know will help them make that day memorable, because that's really what it's all about.
Because I know in one of your tips that you suggest to the brides and to the bridal party and family is that you suggest that they effectively delegate wedding duties to the right and necessary people.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, it's very true, because normally everyone has a bridal party, even if it only consists of one or two people. But they're there to help you make your day spectacular. So use them, and you know their strengths and weaknesses because you're their friend. But give them something to do, which is why they are being a part of your party. They want something to do. So take your ideas, organize your thoughts, write it down on a piece of paper, what you want to see happen and how you want to see it happen. Give them the piece of paper with their duties, and then you know what? Relax and let them handle the details, because if you let them handle the details, you will be surprised that the wedding will just be completely smooth. You won't even know if something has happened in the background, because you have delegated it to the people to make sure that it goes correctly.
So is that one of the steps that you suggest to keep a bride from turning into a
Bridezilla?
Oh, yeah, that's right, Bridezilla.
Oh, most definitely. And that's most of the brides, if you watch that show on TV, Bridezillas, a lot of it is they weren't detailed enough in the beginning to be able to put down what they want, and then they get frustrated when something didn't turn out correctly. So take that time that you have before the wedding and really make sure you focus on what it is that you want to see happen, as well as what your fiance wants to see happen.
Yeah, that's right.
And then put it together and make sure you can hand it off to someone. So all you have to do that day is smile, be happy, and enjoy getting married.
I like that. So now that I think about it, there's the bridal party, there's maid of honor, there's mom, there's sister, the guys are involved too. But what are a couple no-brainer duties that, we can already start thinking about delegating?
Oh, no-brainer duties. Who's going to help decorate the chapel or whatever venue that you're going to be in? You need someone to be in charge of that.
Because it wouldn't be the florist.
It wouldn't necessarily be the florist. No, you actually have to check with every wedding venue as to see if their coordinator provides all that, or if you have to provide that. And whatever they do not provide, then that's where you can have like the mom or maid of honor be able to help with that. You need ushers. You can talk to your cousins or whatnot to make sure that they're there to help direct people to the right areas.
So this is for the wedding day itself. But what about planning? Would you recommend delegating for any of the planning?
Oh, most definitely. Planning. What you want to see happen at the reception, you have to put all those information down, line item, everything you want to have. Flowers. Maybe if there's a maid of honor or one of your bridal parties that's creative, they can go ahead and actually start working on flowers and gift bags and those kinds of things right away.
That's really cool. I like these ideas. Very smart. Okay, so, we have to go to our commercial break, but when we're going to come back, we're going to talk about you say something about freeing your mind, body, and soul, which I think a lot of us want to know how to do.
It can be tough.
So stay tuned. We'll be back with some interesting information on that.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me every week for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. Join my How to Dance in Real Life Situations meetup at meetup.com and visit sophiainsapphire.com for more information.
Planning a wedding? Want a spectacular, one-of-a-kind reception party experience? All Events Production is ready to make your event a unique production. From DJ and music to photo booth and even lighting, they will keep your guests engaged and entertained from beginning to end. Your wedding is transformed into a truly wow event. From live broadcasting for those who can't be there in person, to live texting, dancing in the clouds, snow, and all sorts of special effects. Your special day will truly be one of a kind. Contact All Events Production at 702-348-6641 or visit them online at alleventsproduction.com. That's 702-348-6641 or alleventsproduction.com.
Do You Want to Dance is brought to you by Sophia in Sapphire. Experience the bliss of dance, whether preparing for the first dance of the rest of your life as husband and wife, or gaining the confidence to enjoy the dance floor on date night. Sophia and her team of dance specialists will help you feel alive, reconnected, and invigorated through all types of dances. From beginners to advanced students, Sophia will help you experience the therapeutic, medicinal, and transformative benefits of dance. Get on the dance floor. Get in a game. Go from nerdy to flirty with Sophia in Sapphire. Listen to Do You Want to Dance Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNet Radio. And check out sophiainsapphire.com for more information. Or give Sophia a call at 702-907-7002. That's sophiainsapphire.com. And the Do You Want to Dance radio show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNetRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Harris from Las Vegas. I want you to know about my experience with Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire. I signed up for her 10-lesson dance challenge to gain confidence, to learn the skills, to look like I knew what I was doing. Sophia made learning how to dance fun and easy. It turned out that by the end of the challenge, I wanted more, so I continued on with more lessons. Since then, I've gained enough confidence to go out into the social scene and even ask strangers to dance. I've made new friends and feel good about myself. The challenge paid off. I finally became a babe magnet. Because after all, everyone knows girls like a guy who can dance. Thanks, Sophia.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome, everybody, to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. This is Sophia, your hostess for today. And we are coming back onto the show to talk about how to free your mind, body, and soul when it comes to the stressful events of planning for your wedding. But before we ask our special guest, Jill, from Celebrity Photobooth, what her thoughts are on the matter, I wanted to ask our co-host, Al Jensen, what he can suggest as an expert on the topic, how to free your mind, body, and soul.
How to free your mind, body, and soul. Wow, how much time do we have left? I have always been a fan of meditation.
Oh, really?
I have been a fan of meditation for probably 10 or 12 years. I went to a workshop and we learned how to meditate, how to free our mind of all the clutter. And when you are able to do that, when you're able to empty your mind of all the extemporaneous stuff that doesn't need to be there, it allows you then to focus in on what's really important. And when you can make your mind quiet, then you can focus. But if you until you get to the point where you can rid your mind of all the other static that's going on, it's really hard to focus on what's important. But when you learn to meditate, then that is when you get in touch with what's really important to yourself.
So how do you do it?
We don't have enough time here today, but
or maybe you don't have an answer.
No,
Could
no,
that be it?
I actually have an answer. I actually use this virtually every day.
Really? Okay.
I have a sleeping problem, and I have a really hard time going to sleep. So I go to sleep via meditation, and I've learned this method. I close my eyes, and I envision a black hole. And every time that I think a thought that is static in my life, if it's not in harmony or unison with the thoughts I want to think, I imagine that thought just dropping into that black hole and going away.
Really?
I give it an opportunity to show its face to me, and then I say, I don't need that thought. I'm going to drop it into the black hole. Once it's dropped in that black hole, it's gone for good. Then when a thought comes to my mind that is in harmony or unison with what I want to think about, I want to focus on, I allow that thought to occupy my mind. If another thought jumps in that is static, I immediately send it to that black hole.
How interesting. I like that. I'm going to try that out.
I spent literally 2.5 days learning this particular meditation process at a business building workshop several years ago. And it really works. I just close my eyes, visualize that black hole. And anything that doesn't make sense just goes, I allow it to visualize it. And then I don't want to give it any more time. And once it's in the black hole, it's gone.
Very cool. Now, Jill, you being from an expert in the wedding industry, does this at all resemble maybe some of your tips and advice?
You know, that's actually something that I should learn how to do, is meditate. So I might have to talk to you later, Al, about that. But it does go along with that when you free your mind. Now, from my perspective, what I have seen, what I think really helps is organization.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, it goes back to taking those thoughts that you have when you are planning this big event as your wedding and putting them down in paper. Or another way of doing that is you can use Pinterest and taking any ideas that you have and putting them up there into an actual gallery so you can always see what you're looking at. And that ties back into organization, because if you have those ideas in a space, then they don't have to take up space in your brain.
Right.
And it's hard because your brain keeps going all the time. And I have that big problem. If I have things on my mind, I cannot get it to shut off. But if I put it on paper, so at least I can come back to it at a later time, then I'm able to free my mind, take a deep breath, take a nice bubble bath, grab a glass of wine, and just absolutely relax.
Secrets.
There's a
You
secret.
had me at bubble bath and wine. You really did.
Wow. Okay. So that's really interesting. You know, if I can add my 2 cents about freeing the mind and body.
Please do. How do you do that? Because when you are doing dance competitions and you are getting ready to go out on the dance floor, you have to be in the moment. You've got to focus on that. How do you clear your mind of all the static?
Well, so competition is different. You know, that's total high stress. But I think dancing for the general person, getting out there, you know, the number one thing I think most people can identify with is enjoying music. You know, even
who doesn't?
You know, even when you're planning a stressful wedding, right? If there's music in the background that you love, all of a sudden you feel a little more at ease, just like having a glass of wine.
That's correct.
So I would say that music is one of those things that is really important for dancing, and really important to put people at ease, especially because if it's something familiar or something that gets you going, there's so many different tunes that have a different mood to them. For example, all the dances, you know, cha-cha's high energy, salsa's, you know, also high energy aerobic activity. But then there's like waltz, which is slow and almost melancholy. You know, what if you're like so hyper and you need to calm down? Oh, well, maybe the waltz is your dance. You know, so coming from a dance perspective, that's my view. But, you know, freeing the mind, body, and soul, I think, you know, exercise is really important for all of us. You know, maybe breathing and letting go. I think
Eating healthy.
Yeah. You guys know. Cool. So Jill, so you talked a little bit about organizing and Pinterest, and do you have a Pinterest board?
I do have a Pinterest board. In fact, I just got married last year, and
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was vital to me planning the wedding, because I took all of my ideas, which does go back to your question about what can brides do right now if they're not, having the wedding within the next 3 months. What can they do to prepare? Put all your ideas on a board, and it just keeps everything simplified for you, and that really will help you to be able to be ready.
So is your Pinterest board like a representation of your personal wedding planning process, or do you have boards on there maybe for brides to check out?
It was my personal wedding board.
Oh, so you don't necessarily want people coming to your Pinterest board?
not quite. No, Pinterest is kind of my little private zone, my little creativity zone. Yeah.
I do have a Pinterest board. It's public. It's Sophia and Sapphire without the E. There was not enough characters, so Sophia and Sapphire without the E. And the boards are public, and they. I have a whole board of wedding shoes and dance shoes because I think it's cool. A lot of times brides come in and, one thing they're stressed about is, moving in their shoes because they have this huge poofy dress and then they have to dance or they have to do this and they come in with these clunkers without straps on.
Oh, that's another recommendation. Make sure you bring some flats to your wedding.
Right.
Make sure you have an alternate change of shoes because I'll tell you what, you're going to need them at the end of the night.
Do you? Right. So you recommend?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. We talked about dancing shoes
a
couple of weeks ago and the importance of making sure that you've got your dance shoes for at least for the first few dances when all eyes are on you as a bride.
As an extra pair of shoes.
Oh, you need to have an extra pair of shoes, yes.
I would say 3 pairs are good. One. Okay, Alice
one
making
for the wedding
faces.
itself. One for the dance
one for the pictures in the wedding.
Listen, I am not one to talk. I have probably, for every pair of shoes my wife has, I probably have 5.
Oh,
literally. I am, Ryan, don't look at me like that.
Well,
but that's
we also
true.
have to take into account that you do not have different variety of heel heights.
That's true. That's true. I have, I have like dress shoes, and I have casual shoes, and I have boat shoes, and I have deck shoes, and I have sand. I've got all the different ones in gray and taupe and black and red and performance shoes for when I'm on stage and things like that.
I would love to see your closet. Wow.
Hey, can we get back to your photo booth business for just a little bit here? I've got a couple of questions. I see that you talk about a keepsake album, because I know when you go to a wedding, you always sign the guest book and you make some little pithy comment on there, and had a great time, have a great life together, all that kind of stuff. But I understand that you make available a keepsake album to the bride and groom or to the corporate client or whoever it is, but we're talking about weddings here. That sounds so cool that the bride and groom, because they've got so many other things they're focusing on during the reception, but you're going to give them a keepsake album, or that's an option that they can choose, so they can see all the fun faces and fun messages and fun things that have been going on.
Almost definitely, yeah. Whenever their guests come into the booth and take a picture, we always make an additional copy, if they choose this add-on. And what we do is...
For blackmail purposes?
Oh, definite blackmail, yes. So you can make sure that uncle sees himself when he's completely plastered.
With a lampshade on his head.
Right, with a boa around his neck. Yep. Yes, so we just print an extra copy and we stick it into a keepsake album, which is just about the same as a scrapbook, just for reference.
Sure.
And we bring some fun stickers so the guests can either just decorate the book for the bride and groom, and this happens throughout the night. So at the very end of the event, I get to hand the album right to the bride and groom and say, here's an official memory of your entire wedding with all of your friends and your family and all of the pictures.
And I've seen like movie montage kind of thing where you take like a slideshow thing and add music to it and some motion. Do you make those kind of slideshow things available?
Yes, we make it available. Of course, it would have to be after the event. We will take all the pictures and put them into basically a slideshow purpose, so that way the bride and groom can always look over the pictures in a more of like a movie format.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's like a instant gratification because, after the wedding, it's like this great thing happened and you want to keep reminiscing and thinking about it. And if you don't have anything tangible or something to look at, it's like you're always in your mind rethinking, and this is like a perfect gift.
Oh, yeah, and we actually, too, can add on our social media kiosk, which lets the guests immediately from the booth, once they come out, they can email the pictures to themselves or text the picture to themselves or Facebook or Twitter right away, so they can have that digital copy immediately, not only a print in hand, but one on their phones as well.
That's awesome. Why don't you tell our listeners where they can go on the World Wide Web to find more information about your celebrity photo booths?
Oh, of course. They can go to www.celebrityphotobooth.lv.com. That's celebrityphotobooth.lv.com, just the way it sounds. Or they can just give me a call, 702-830-0690.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you for joining us today.
Both of you. This has been wonderful.
All right, we're going to cut out to our last commercial break of the day, and stay tuned.
Everyone in the studio is taking a quick dance break. We'll be back after these brief commercial announcements.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
Are you funny? Do you want to be funnier? Want more laughs from your speech, business presentation, or act? I'm Big Magic Al Jensen, and in addition to being a radio show host, I perform my comedy magic act on stages across Las Vegas and cruise ships around the world. I've consulted and coached humorous speech contest winners, stage performers, and business professionals who want to bring more humor to their conversations and presentations. I can do the same for you with my program, Funny Just Got Easier. One-on-one coaching, group classes, and workshops are available. Whether you want to be funnier in front of an audience or just in conversation, Funny Just Got Easier is the simple and quick way to kick up your humor. Check out funnyjustgoteasier.com for more information on personal coaching and workshop dates. That's funnyjustgoteasier.com.
Are you looking for an all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue? One with all the services to plan your perfect wedding. If so, you're looking for the Ritz of Las Vegas, family-owned and operated for more than 10 years. In addition to traditional events, the Ritz specializes in theme weddings from 1920s, glam goth, Star Wars, Harry Potter, masquerade, burlesque, or vintage Hollywood, just to name a few. Whatever your vision, the Ritz makes it a reality. For more information on the finest all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue in Las Vegas, contact the Ritz of Las Vegas at 702-336-3626 or visit them at theritzoflasvegas.com. That's 702-336-3626 or theritzoflasvegas.com.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me at 6 p.m. each Monday night in April to learn the salsa at the Ritz, located at 3360 East Flamingo Road, for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. For more information, please visit sophiainsapphire.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome, everybody, to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. This is your hostess, Sophia. Co-hosting with me is Magical Al Jensen over there.
Yes, I am.
And we just finished talking about freeing the mind, body, and soul.
Yes, indeed.
With a good insight, huh?
I like to think so because I have ADHD, DHHD, ADHD, all those ADs and H's just run around all over the place. I can be in the kitchen and head upstairs to do something and be derailed 5 times, en route. I just have a really hard time focusing. So I find that freeing the mind through meditation really helps me clear all that static and be able to focus on what's important.
You know what's interesting is that repetitive dance movements become very you almost get into a trance doing them, or getting into this Zen state where you're so relaxed and at ease just repeating this one little activity, which I encourage everyone to do. As a professional, I warm up my body just with 1 or 2 movements, in either direction or whatever. But there's something about repetition and also music, which I mentioned before, but that gets you into that relaxed state.
Oh, exactly. Music really does it. And when you're able to free your mind of all the static that normally, is floating around in your mind, then the body just naturally wants to move.
Yeah.
And if you know some dance steps, then you can move with purpose and enjoy it even more.
That's it. Yeah.
Enjoy it even more. Now, I want to hear a little bit more about Roxanne, because Roxanne called in and gave us a very nice testimonial about the fact that she had 10 dance lessons prior to her wedding.
Which played during the commercial.
Yes, it did. And we appreciate Roxanne making that phone call for us. But I think she took advantage of what you call your 10-lesson dance challenge.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so to be fair to yourself as a beginner, in order to learn how to dance, I would recommend starting with around 10 lessons. It takes, the muscle memory to kick in. The first couple lessons, even few lessons, you just aren't remembering. Maybe you're remembering 10 to 20%, and that is way okay. You're definitely on track if you do remember 10 or 20% of the lesson. But I would say after like 3 or 4 lessons, you're already digging in and you're feeling it. And you're linking things together and coming up with a routine. So what we did, they had a song in mind. They danced to Hot Stuff by Donna Summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
like Donna
what was
Summer.
so cool is that they came in with a plan. I asked them what they wanted. They were very open with me. I showed them what I thought was appropriate, what I thought they would have fun with. I gave them options. Did they want to be goofy? Did they want to be, hot shots on the floor? And they even gave, they would bring on the lesson clips of videos of, we want to do this motion, or we
Really?
want to do this. And, I would tailor it, so that they look good doing it and in a way that they could do it. But we ended up doing stuff, they danced side by side. They did a little bit of theater where they acted out some parts. One of them pointed at the other and called them over with the finger, and then they, shimmied over. And then they actually went into the hustle. They did some hustle moves. They did turns. And the groom also, he had some turns, some man turns.
Is that what we call them, man turns?
Yeah, the man turns. Well, behind the back where
okay.
it looks really slick. And it gave them a fair chance to really get jazzed about it. In the beginning, I have to say Roxanne was a little more enthused about it, just because the lady usually has a little more confidence about the dancing. But I have to say, by the end, the one that is the most thrilled is the guy, because
Really?
he's
Her
so
husband?
impressed with how far they've gotten. And, a lot of times, to be honest, is the guy's like, what, I really didn't think that this was going to happen.
Sure. Now, let me ask you this. How far in advance did they come to you and say, okay, we've got our wedding planned for sometime in the future? How much time did they allow in advance of the wedding, and then how much time did you take? Did you do it like once a week over 10 weeks, or did you do, how did that whole
good
thing
question. So
work?
actually, they did a great thing. They got in touch about a half a year before the wedding. We started them off, a couple times a week, and then tapered off. We were done with the lessons in about 3 months, and they decided to take a few extra lessons until until their wedding day. But that put them at ease. I mean, there was no rush. They already felt comfortable by 10. They actually continued dancing after their wedding.
Now, that is a testament that, that you can be
that
proud
was
of.
pretty cool and unexpected. But I really recommend, you take the challenge and do a commitment of about 10
All right.
lessons.
That is awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that story.
Well, thank you for being on the show, Al. You've been listening to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. Tune in next week at 4 p.m., Wednesdays, Vegas All Net Radio.
Thanks for listening to Do You Wanna Dance? Tune in again next week for more interviews, advice, and insight into how you could go from nerdy to flirty and learn how simple it is to turn your dreams into reality. On the Do You Wanna Dance radio show, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. right here on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Views and opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.